So now we will take some questions. So if you have any question, please ask at the chat box. Thank you, Daryl, for the sharing. Like Daryl actually mentioned that probably you can look at your balance sheet leverage as well as your cash flow. Yeah. So anyone have any question? Okay, so we'll wait for probably maybe 20 seconds more. If we do not have any question, we'll end the discussion. All right, Nancy actually asked, can anyone offer perspective from the US and Europe or Asia's side? So I suppose this is for the last question. So yeah, do you guys have any sharing from the probably US and Europe side? Since we cover much about Singapore.
Well, if I may, I also have clients in Europe.
Mm.
So they are facing the same situation as we are here. The only thing is, in the meantime, in Europe, they are already in a few countries releasing the tightness. So there are some shops already opening up, which is, in effect, probably a good way for the business. But yeah, there is always a balance between the business, the economy side, and the medical side. But yeah, for a company like us, being an IT company and having clients there and clients here, it's a good thing, because now hopefully those clients will pick up their pace again and being able to get more of their clients, so then we can help them more. So that would be a good thing, and that's where my previous point comes in about diversification. So,
all right. So Paddy, why are you suggesting businesses thinking about closing? So why business should think about closing?
Yeah, okay. I know it's a bit unorthodox. So here's the thing. Okay, I'm saying it from a business point of view, the business owner. So basically, it has to be very practical. So let's say, for example, if you are the business owner, you need to continue to pay your employees and stuff like that. You still have some cash left over, okay, and you do not know how long is this thing going to last. So let's say just assume you said, hey, probably it will last only a month or 2 months. Okay, then you start burning the money, and sales are not coming in. As you continue to pay the salary and everything, and then some of them, one of the risks is that you run out of money and you have no salary to pay the employees. I think this is also one of the biggest challenge. In fact, some of those guys, some of the companies that we are now talking to, they are really lending, borrowing from future money, meaning that they're actually now using money that they believe that if the sales comes in, this lockdown, gets stopped. Get lifted and everything. The future sales will actually start coming. So in this case, why not I just continue to go in and get a loan? No matter how cheap the loan is, how the interest will be and everything, it's always tempting to continue to sustain the business. Of course, it's not an easy decisions to make, saying that, hey, because of this COVID virus, let me just shut it down, and that would be irresponsible. But what I'm giving the advice is that we have to be very practical. Because the last thing that you want is that you owe lots of money to your employees, and not to forget, as an owner, I'm myself as a serial entrepreneur. I invested in so many other companies. We also got to make very tough decisions, because at the end of the day, if you cannot pay salary to the employees, and then you start to delay 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then only to tell them, guys, sorry, we run out of money, we shut down. So can you imagine the fella that has been believing, the whole company believing in you and everything, they're stuck with 4 months of zero salary, and they're probably dipping into their own savings. And trust me, not everybody can survive for that long. And you got kids, you got families, and a whole bunch of all this kind of stuff. So I think the practical way is that you have to start thinking of what happens if I cannot make it in the next 3 months when my money runs out. So we're shutting down a company actually makes sense. And when they say shut down company, it doesn't mean the traditional way of you go to Accra, just say, guys, I'm sorry, everybody, we fired you. That's it. I give you a retrenchment package, or even for all you know, you don't even have money to to pay them for the 30 days. Okay, and you just shut it down and then you move on. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you shut down companies, you can always look into a couple of things. First, you can always slice and dice. Is there any IP that you already have? Maybe your competitors may be interested in what you are doing, or maybe you can actually do a barter trade, do a joint venture, or probably even look into something that, hey, you know, I have something that you need, and you have something that I need. How about we combine it together? No, there are a lot of ways that you can actually do that. Even, or even like some like one of the company that I used to advise not too long ago, about a month ago, we told them, because their cash flow is so tight, their cash flow is only about a month, and they're living based on 30 days credit, 60 days credit, that kind of situation. So I advise them, I say, simple, can you survive this? No, if you really cannot survive this, then probably what you can do is that you look into convert some of the employees. The good thing is that it's a small little fittings of only about 5 employees. I said, get all these 5 employees that you believe that they can actually, they have a lot of values. Turn them into your shareholders. Okay, not the ESOP stuff, but we are talking about turn them into shareholders. Why? Because the mentality will be very different. The thinking will be very different. That means they are not working for you anymore. Everybody is working for everybody. So you're talking about survivors, and then you can actually fit it in, close the company per se, but you convert it into more shareholders that everybody will run and everybody will survive. Why? Because if the company survive, means that it simply means that there's money coming in, there's sales coming in. And that will also allow you to retain the talents, and then you can always keep the group of customers, you know, and then you can always come back again. I mean, this is how I see it when I talk about closing a company.
All right, thank you for sharing. We have quite a number of questions, so we will move on to the next question. So how do we convince partners to digitalize when the future is so uncertain? I think what Darren meant is, why should you spend on digitalizing where you don't know whether you can continue after that, or whether it will recover soon. So anybody would like to answer the question?
Well, if I may, I think it's a common risk if you are a businessman, if you are an entrepreneur. So you would like to make some calculative decisions if you're able to, with the knowledge you have now and with a little bit of prediction for the future. I think, based on those things, you need to decide as a businessman, is it worth the risk, and will I get my return on investment? That's also, and what you can also look at, what are other companies doing? I have given earlier a couple of of examples from China companies who went online with their web shop and who are doing a lot of live stream selling. And like I said, they are making more money than they have ever done with the brick and mortar shops. So also look at other companies in other countries, which maybe are a little bit ahead of us in this pandemic situation, like China or maybe Europe, and see what those companies are doing. And based upon all that information, try to predict the best situation and predict the best outcome for your company.
All right, thank you.
I add on that point, I just reflect one of our clients. What happened is that they were very hesitant about, because they create a luxury brand, all right, a fashion brand. So they're very hesitant about going digitalized. They say lost that customer personal touch. But under this situation, they got no choice. So they go online, and suddenly their sales actually improved a lot, and they didn't even expect it. So I think we all know that, there's this group out there online. You can't see them, you can't touch them, but they are there. So sometimes it's all about taking a leap of faith. Try it, and you know what happened. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I'm actually buying more now online when I start at home.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
And maybe if I may add, you can maybe reduce your own risk if you're taking into account that you are able to get some grants here in Singapore. There's the EDG grant, and there's also specific grants to commercialize, to e-commercialize your business and products. So make use of that, in which you are reducing your own company's risk in a way.
All right, yeah. So for the grants, right, Rina actually asked that question. But we can send you more information priorly later for the grant side. There are quite a number of grants for that. Okay, so I'll move on to the next question. How do you get a prospect and close them virtually via calls or video conference call in the times of this kind of crisis when everybody is busy?
Probably I start first. Okay, for our kind of line of work, it's mainly word of mouth referral lah. I think this is also the part where because you don't get to see the person as much as in physical form. So even if you want to do the videos and everything, it still somehow you still lack of that emotional kind of physical engagements. So I think one of the way that you can always do it is that first and foremost, you have to understand that the competition is actually very stiff now because almost everyone is now virtual. So the choices is much more than previous. But at the same time, it also means that your potential client is also much more because they are all captive audience, at least physically in their house. I think a lot of things that you can do is that I think going social media is definitely a must. But I think end of the day, it's all about your content and what are your deliverables. And most importantly, it's also the kind of endorsement that a good customers can give to you. Because if you have a real good reference, this usually will speak volume. For example, let's say you have a listed companies that actually work with you closely. Naturally, you can always use this as a sort of a batch of credentials that everybody will like, okay, well, that's interesting because somehow, somewhere, you're still managing this particular clientele, even in these kind of situations. And you can always get the quotable quotes from them, probably share a bit more on the case studies, because it's now no more of just verbal. Now it's a lot of us are all very physical, very visual now. Okay, I mean, if you want to engage sales and all this, I think the preference will probably not be a voice, will probably be a video. And then this is where all the settings has to come in quite in place. So that this will actually allow engagement to be much easier so that at least they know that, okay, yeah, we all start. But here's the thing, what is the value? And then when you're talking to the fellow over the video, you can always do a reference and say, let me just bring you this particular client that I'm actually working with. They just pull him in. I've been doing that quite a lot, actually. I talk to an existing client and they say, hey, there's this guy that I'm actually talking to and I'd like to get you to sort of endorse. Is it possible? So we're talking halfway. I say, hey, why don't you wait and I'll wait? And then I just add the fella into the video call. And then the fella, oh, okay. So he comes in and then guess what? So straight away, you can get this so-called potential seller and your clientele, potential customers of yours to talk to your existing client. And then you can do a 4-way, 5-way video calls and then they can all start talking to them. And guess what? If they're happy with you, they will start selling for you. They were like, hey, yeah. Talk to this guy. This guy had managed to help me to deliver this and that. And that is actually something that is probably not possible if we are all not stuck at home now. I mean, I don't know. I don't used to sell that. I can't do that when I was last time walking around and then give a call to the other fellow because now I know that the other fellow is also like me, stuck at home. So if this is the case, this is actually a very good selling tools that I'm using now.
All right. So we will take the one last question because time is running up. So with the work from home situation, how should employees best look into reviewing and evaluating employees' performance? Because you cannot track right now visually. So how can you do that? So maybe we can ask Puxiong on this since you are expert in the HR side.
The HR area, right?
Yeah.
I guess that first thing is that the leader, the bosses have to change their mindset from managing tasks to managing through outcome. So I think they must be very clear about the goals they want the team to achieve and give them more free hand to achieve that because now everything's on virtual, so you can't really monitor them. I mean, of course, I have extreme bosses that they will say, you have to log into Zoom whole day and work. I want to see your face. But that's a bit extreme. But most of it, what we do is that convert it into a more goal-based target. And even in Align, what we do is that we have a daily huddle and weekly huddle, we call it. So essentially what it means is that we have a weekly goal that everyone commit to achieve and a daily goal of reporting and keep it updated. So that to some extent, we want the accountability and also the empowerment of responsibility go back to the employee. And of course, here we are assuming that you have the right employee. If you have someone who wants to shirk, who take advantage of it, then I think he shouldn't be in your team in the first place. Yeah, you should talk to us if that's happening. But anyway, the whole point is that I think you need to look into your team performance in a different way and learn to let go. I've learned to let go a lot these days. You know, no more micromanaging. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we become more zen, I guess, huh, Teddy?
I can share a bit. Okay, for example, like this company that I'm working in Hong Kong. We have teams in both Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and a couple of others. The office start at 9 o'clock. So in Shenzhen and Hong Kong, they already, I mean, they are physically in the office, but I can't, I'm physically at home. So I think the trust level here is more of like, everybody are adults. You should trust them. And until the day they somehow give you otherwise, I mean, I know that then that is where you probably have to drill down. But for me, is I rather known because like the team that I'm handling now in Shenzhen is about 20 plus people. So and you know I don't. Here's a funny thing. They are all in office where I'm not. I'm physically because I can't fly. So if I can't fly, I think should they be checking on me or should I be checking on them? I think end of the day is that it's the results that I'm looking at. So what I do is that I just manage by, I mean, for this particular company, we manage by the results, managed by the milestones, so that and then if you have to check on the certain milestones, you can easily know who is the person who is in charge. Talk to the fella, and the fella is supposed to give you back almost instantaneous answer when you call them and talk to them. So this is where you know the people are actually working on it. But once you trust them, you have to really trust them. And it's not like, you know, like, I don't know, I mean, I have some other clientele, they just have to have everybody checking in physically using WhatsApp to check in their locations and everything. I mean, even before this pre-lockdown thingy, I think it doesn't work because it's just so easy. It's so easy to fake the locations these days. I mean, so I think the trust has to be there first. If you don't trust them, don't expect them to trust you. I think this is how it works.
Yeah. So Hila, you must be used to it, right? Since there's a huge team in Vietnam, so you have been managing them virtually for quite a while.
Yeah, correct. We are in the IT sector and we are used to doing this. Indeed, I have a headquarters here in Singapore and office in Vietnam. And we are working remotely all the time. And it's simply a matter of the predecessors mentioned already. It's a matter of trust. And at the end of the day, you will see the results and the communications are ongoing and etc. But it's simply a matter of trust, and it all works fine. And must also add to that in the IT sector, there's already a lot of offshoring and outsourcing ongoing of remote teams. So it's quite common in our area to have a remote team from the Netherlands working in Vietnam or here in Singapore or whatsoever. So it's quite common for us and we are used to it. And yeah, it's working fine. So that's why the impact on us is a little bit less.
That's good. That's good. All right. So we have come to the end of the discussion today. So thank you once again for joining us. So if you'd like to join our other events, right, please follow us on our Facebook page for more updates. All right. So have a great evening. And also, actually, like Align Group, we also offer like complimentary 30-minute consultation. So if you want to ask about HR, you can talk to Boon Xiong or the link that.
Otherwise, ordinarily, I'll offer you a drink. I know somebody mentioned that. Yeah, I do have that whiskey bar, but unfortunately, in circuit breaker, I cannot offer you. So we'll drink over the Zoom call.
Yeah, we will remember it. Next time, using this video, we'll get a drink for you. Can we claim that at your whiskey bar?
Sure. Let me know.
All right. Okay. So for us, we are more towards the business in general. Like, you know, how can you pivot your business? So if you are struggling, we will send you a link. It's called Virtual Business Clinic. So come and talk to us for 30 minutes. Yeah, we will discuss a little bit on that. All right. So thank you, everyone. And we shall end the discussion. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you.